November arrives, and with it, the familiar anticipation of winter's icy grip. For generations, this time of year has meant bundling up, preparing for the long, cold months ahead, and watching as the world transforms under a blanket of frost. We brace for winter's chill, layering scarves and gloves, expecting the sharp bite of cold air to settle in. The rituals of winter, hot drinks, cozy fires, and snow-covered streets, have long been part of our seasonal rhythm. Yet, in recent years, something has changed. Instead of the deep freezes we once knew, milder spells have become the new normal. December days often feel more like autumn, with people strolling in light jackets and parks still showing patches of green. The biting air of winter seems delayed, sometimes never fully arriving. We find ourselves asking, where have the cold, relentless winters gone? The once familiar sight of snow piling up on streets and rooftops is now a rare event in many places. Scientists are closely tracking this shift. They compare today's thin river ice and patchy snow to old photographs of towering snowdrifts and frozen landscapes. What was once common is now a story we tell our children. Now, just a few inches of snow can paralyze entire cities. Streets become hazardous, and daily routines are disrupted, revealing how unfamiliar we've become with harsh winter conditions that were once routine. This change ripples through our lives. Our gardens experience fewer hard frosts, and our homes require less heating. Energy consumption patterns shift, and even the way we plan our days is affected by these milder winters. Understanding these milder winters means looking at the intricate dance between natural systems and human influence. Weather patterns, ocean currents, and greenhouse gas emissions all play a role in shaping our seasons. While pockets of intense cold still appear, reminders of winters past, the overall trend is clear. Moderation is replacing extremity. Some neighborhoods see snow while others remain green, highlighting the unevenness of this change. The long, deep freezes are becoming rare, signaling a fundamental shift in our climate. This shift doesn't just affect our comfort, it impacts agriculture, transportation, and even our health, as new challenges and opportunities arise. By exploring the science behind these changes, we begin to see how human activity, like burning fossil fuels and altering landscapes, is reshaping the climate we once took for granted. Let's uncover the mystery of our vanishing deep freezes. What forces are at work, and what does this mean for our future winters? The journey begins with understanding the powerful forces at play, both natural and human-made, that are transforming the very nature of winter as we know it. To truly understand the milder winters we experience today, we must first look back and remember the legendary deep freezes that once defined the season. These were winters that shaped not only the landscape but the very fabric of daily life. In the past, winter storms were not just a passing inconvenience. They were monumental events that left entire towns blanketed in snow and ice for weeks, sometimes even months. The sheer scale of these storms is hard to imagine today. Take, for example, the UK's infamous winter of 1962 to 63, known as the Big Freeze. For nearly 3 months, the nation was gripped by relentless cold. Rivers and canals froze solid, and snowdrifts blocked roads and railways, isolating communities and testing the endurance of millions. Temperatures plunged to record lows. Lakes became skating rinks. The sea itself froze along the coast, and icicles hung from rooftops like crystal daggers. Everyday life ground to a halt as people struggled to keep warm and carry on. Across the Atlantic, the United States faced its own epic winter in 1888. The Great Blizzard buried the Northeast under towering snowdrifts, paralyzing cities like New York and Boston. Trains were stranded, telegraph lines snapped, and entire neighborhoods disappeared beneath the snow. These events were more than just weather. They became historical benchmarks, moments that defined generations. Communities banded together, digging out homes and helping neighbors survive the cold. The deep freezes tested the resilience of both people and infrastructure. They influenced everything from the way homes were built, thicker walls, smaller windows, to how farmers protected their livestock and crops. Families huddled together for warmth, sharing stories and forging bonds that lasted a lifetime. These legendary winters were the result of powerful atmospheric forces. Polar vortexes and shifting jet streams would funnel Arctic air far south, locking regions in a grip of ice and snow. When Arctic air surged southward, it blocked out milder air, transforming entire landscapes into frozen worlds. Fields disappeared under snowdrifts, and the wind howled across the countryside, leaving no corner untouched. Both homes and wildlife had to adapt to survive. Animals foraged through deep snow, while people relied on wood stoves and thick blankets to keep the cold at bay. Survival required ingenuity and determination. The cultural identity of winter was built on stories of resilience, of braving the elements, working together, and finding joy even in the harshest conditions. Children played in snowdrifts while adults cleared paths and shared resources. Today, recent winters seem gentler by comparison. Snow melts quickly, rain replaces blizzards, and people dress in lighter clothing. The rules of winter are being rewritten before our eyes. The absence of epic cold spells and deep snowdrifts signals a fundamental change in our climate. Park benches sit empty, landscapes remain mostly bare, and thermometers rarely dip far below freezing. For many, the stories of those legendary winters now feel like distant memories, faded photographs and tales told by grandparents, reminders of a world that is quickly disappearing. Our winters are evolving. The deep freezes that once defined the season are fading into history, leaving us to wonder what the future of winter will look like. At the heart of deep freezes is the polar vortex, a swirling mass of cold air over the North Pole. This vortex is contained by a fast-flowing wind, keeping the cold locked in the Arctic. When strong, it keeps mid-latitude winters mild. However, disruptions can cause the vortex to wobble, releasing cold air southward. This leads to classic deep freeze events. Scientists are exploring how global warming affects the vortex's stability. The Arctic is warming rapidly, potentially making the vortex more prone to disruptions. A warmer Arctic could paradoxically lead to more extreme cold outbreaks, yet it also reduces the overall supply of deep cold. The polar vortex's behavior is crucial to understanding our changing winters. High above, the jet stream, a fast-moving air current, influences our weather. It separates cold polar air from warmer southern air. A straight jet stream keeps cold air north, leading to mild winters. When it becomes wavy, it allows cold air to dip south, causing cold spells. Recent trends show the jet stream becoming wavier, linked to Arctic warming. A weaker jet stream can lead to prolonged weather patterns. This means longer mild spells or persistent cold, depending on the jet stream's path. The jet stream's behavior is a key factor in our changing winters. Its influence extends across continents, affecting weather globally. Understanding its dynamics helps explain our milder winters. The atmosphere and oceans are in constant dialogue, shaping our weather. The Atlantic meridional overturning circulation, including the Gulf Stream, warms Western Europe. This current keeps UK winters milder than those at similar latitudes. Changes in ocean currents can dramatically affect winter weather. El Niño and La Niña events in the Pacific also influence US winters. Warmer oceans mean milder air, reducing the likelihood of deep freezes. The ocean's warming acts as a buffer against extreme cold. This interplay between ocean and atmosphere is crucial to understanding our winters. The ocean's influence is a key factor in the milder winters we experience. Climate change is altering the behavior of weather drivers like the polar vortex and jet stream. Greenhouse gases trap heat, raising global temperatures. This warming trend affects winter, providing a higher baseline temperature. Cold air masses are not as frigid as they once were. Arctic amplification, driven by sea ice loss, weakens the jet stream. This leads to more erratic weather patterns. While cold snaps still occur, sustained deep freezes are less likely. The warming planet makes milder winters more common. Climate change is reshaping our winters, making them unpredictable. The long-term signal is clear. Milder winters are becoming the norm. Our climate is evolving, and we must adapt to these changes. Recent winters in the US and UK show a trend towards mildness. The UK has seen wet, windy winters, with snow becoming rare. The Beast from the East in 2018 was a notable exception. In the US, winters are marked by regional variability. Record warmth in some areas contrasts with cold snaps in others. The overall trend is towards milder winters with fewer deep freezes. Extreme cold events are now short and sharp rather than prolonged. The data shows a consistent warming trend across both nations. Milder winters are becoming more common, reshaping our expectations. The character of winter is changing, with milder conditions prevailing. Climate models predict continued warming for US and UK winters. Average temperatures will rise, making mid-20th century winters rare. Frost days and snow cover will decrease significantly. The UK may see more storms and floods rather than snow and ice. The US faces increased volatility, with potential for sharp cold snaps. A warmer Arctic could destabilize the polar vortex, leading to extreme events. Preparing for the future means adapting to both warmth and sudden freezes. The models highlight a future of milder, yet unpredictable winters. Society must be ready for the new challenges these changes bring. We are witnessing a profound transformation in our relationship with winter. What once felt like a predictable, familiar season is now shifting before our eyes. The traditions we associate with winter, bundling up in heavy coats, building snowmen, and watching snowflakes drift down, are becoming less common in many places. Deep freezes, which used to define the heart of winter, are becoming rare. Instead, we're experiencing milder, more unpredictable winters, where snow quickly melts into rain and temperatures swing unexpectedly. This dramatic change is driven by global warming and its far-reaching impact on our weather systems. Human activity, especially the burning of fossil fuels, is warming our planet and altering the very nature of winter. The polar vortex, jet stream, and ocean currents, powerful forces that shape our seasons, are all being affected. These shifts can lead to unusual weather patterns, from sudden thaws to unexpected storms. While milder winters might seem like a relief, they bring new and unexpected challenges. Farmers now face pests that survive the winter, muddy fields that delay planting, and crops that struggle without the insulating blanket of snow. Water reservoirs may not refill as they once did, threatening our water supply. Wildlife too must adapt to these changes, searching for food in snowless forests and facing new survival challenges. As winters become less predictable, complacency can leave us unprepared for sudden cold snaps or unexpected snowstorms. The risk of being caught off guard is greater than ever. Our vanishing deep freezes are a clear sign of a planet in transformation. The landscapes we once knew are changing, and with them, our way of life. The climate is dynamic, always shifting, and we are deeply connected to its changes. Our daily routines, traditions, and even our conversations are shaped by the weather around us. As winters evolve, we must learn to adapt to new rhythms and challenges. This means preparing for a wider range of weather, adjusting our habits, and supporting our communities through change. The future of winter is uncertain, but one thing is clear: we must be ready to face whatever changes come, together, with resilience and awareness.